Gioachino Rossini was born on February 29, 1792, in a small town called Pesaro in Italy. His parents were both musicians. His father, Giuseppe Rossini, was a trumpet player, and his mother, Anna, was a singer. From a young age, Gioachino loved music, and it was clear that he had a special gift. His family saw his talent and encouraged him to learn more about music. When Gioachino was a child, his father was often away because of his job as a musician in different cities. So, his mother, Anna, took care of him and made sure he had the best education possible. She noticed that Gioachino was very good at remembering music and quickly picking up new songs. At the age of 6, he started studying music with a local teacher. By the time he was a teenager, Gioachino was already very skilled in playing the keyboard and understanding music theory. His family wanted him to become a famous musician, so they sent him to study at the Conservatory of Bologna, a famous music school in Italy. At the conservatory, Rossini learned a lot about music composition, and his talent grew even more. When Rossini was only 18 years old, he wrote his first opera, La Cambiale di Matrimonio, The Marriage Contract. It was a funny story about love, marriage, and money. The opera was a success, and Rossini quickly became well known in the world of music. Many people loved his music because it was lively, funny, and full of energy. Rossini had a unique style, and he knew how to make people smile and laugh with his music. After the success of his first opera, Rossini wrote many more operas. His operas were performed in theaters all over Italy and beyond. Some of his most famous works include The Barber of Seville and Cinderella. These operas are still performed today and are loved by people around the world. One of Rossini's most famous operas is The Barber of Seville, which he wrote in 1816. The story of The Barber of Seville is about a young man named Count Almaviva, who falls in love with a woman named Rosina. However, Rosina is being kept in her house by her guardian, Dr. Bartolo, who also wants to marry her. The Count asks a clever barber named Figaro to help him win Rosina's love and escape from Dr. Bartolo's house. The opera is full of funny and exciting moments, and the music is lively and full of surprises. The premiere of The Barber of Seville was not easy for Rossini. The audience did not like the opera at first. They even booed it. But Rossini was not discouraged. He knew that his music was good, and over time, the opera became very popular. Today, The Barber of Seville is one of the most famous operas in the world, and many people enjoy its beautiful music and funny story. In 1824, Rossini moved to Paris, the capital of France. In Paris, he continued to write music and became even more famous. He wrote several operas for the French audience, including William Tell, which is one of his most important works. William Tell is a grand opera that tells the story of the Swiss hero William Tell, who fights for freedom against the Austrian rulers. The opera is known for its beautiful and powerful music, especially the famous overture, which is often played in concerts and movies. In Paris, Rossini became a very rich and famous man. He was known not only for his music, but also for his love of good food. Rossini was a big fan of French cuisine, and often enjoyed delicious meals in the best restaurants. In fact, many dishes were named after him, such as Tournitos Rossini, a famous beef dish. He also enjoyed spending time with his friends and talking about music, art, and life. By the age of 37, Rossini had written many operas and achieved great success. However, something unexpected happened. In 1829, Rossini decided to stop composing operas. This decision shocked many people, as he was still very young and had so much more to give. But Rossini felt that he had done everything he could in the world of opera. He had become tired of the pressure and demands of writing music for the stage. After retiring from composing operas, Rossini focused on writing other types of music, including choral works and chamber music. He also spent time with his friends and enjoyed his life in Paris. Although he was no longer writing operas, Rossini continued to be a respected figure in the world of music. Rossini lived in Paris for the rest of his life, enjoying a peaceful and comfortable lifestyle. He passed away on November 13, 1868, at the age of 76. Today, he is remembered as one of the greatest composers of the 19th century, and his music continues to be enjoyed by people all over the world. Gioachino Rossini left behind a legacy that is still felt today. His operas are performed in theaters all over the world, and his music continues to inspire musicians and composers. Rossini's operas are known for their beautiful melodies, clever use of instruments, and their ability to make people laugh and feel happy. Even though Rossini stopped composing operas at a young age, his music remains timeless and is still loved by audiences today. Many people do not realize that Rossini was also a talented writer of instrumental music, such as piano pieces and orchestral music. His music was not only popular in Italy and France, but also in many other countries. In fact, some of his music was so well known that people began to play it in homes, cafes, and concert halls all over Europe. His music brought joy to the lives of many people, and it still brings happiness to audiences today. Even though Rossini wrote The Barber of Seville nearly 200 years ago, it is still one of the most famous and performed operas in the world. Its lively, funny story and beautiful music make it a favorite of both opera lovers and new listeners. The famous aria Largo al Factotum, sung by Figaro, is one of the most recognizable pieces of opera music in the world. People love the energy and excitement of the music, and it often makes them smile. The Barber of Seville has been performed in many different countries, and in many different languages. It has also been adapted into movies, cartoons, and even pop culture. The opera is a great example of Rossini's talent for creating fun, exciting, and unforgettable music that continues to bring joy to audiences everywhere. Gioachino Rossini was a brilliant composer whose music has touched the hearts of millions of people around the world. From his early beginnings in Italy to his success in Paris, Rossini's life was filled with creativity, passion, and the love of music. His operas, such as The Barber of Seville and William Tell, continue to be performed today, and his music remains an important part of classical music history. Even though Rossini retired from composing operas at a young age, his work continues to inspire new generations of musicians and music lovers. His life and music are a reminder of the power of creativity and the joy that music can bring to people of all ages and backgrounds. Whether you are listening to his operas in a grand theater or enjoying his music in a small cafe, Gioachino Rossini's legacy will always be with us.